So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and today we're going to take a look at the size differences between the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because you might not be able to get to the Apple Store right away. You might not want to, or you might just want to see how it looks. In a quick video, we're going to do this here. Now, this is also the first time Apple has made a 6.3-inch iPhone, and how they achieved this on the 16 Pro was not in the way of like a much larger phone, but in the way of reducing the bezels. So if you take a look there, you're going to notice right away, just like I showed with my max size comparison, it's definitely a taller phone. It actually comes in a couple millimeters taller, but it has actually the same width. It's actually 71.5 millimeters wide, so it's the exact same width on here. So definitely you don't really have a big difference there. You just have reduction in bezels, which is nice. But you do have to see right here that there is a difference in the height. So if you're coming from a 14 Pro, let's kind of put them leveled with each other right here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. If I come down, you're going to see that the iPhone 14 Pro sits just this tiny bit smaller than the iPhone 16 Pro. However, that little bit could make a little bit of a difference. When you put a case on it, it might feel a little bigger as well because it's slightly taller. So do keep that in mind right there. Now, another thing is if we bring them over to the button side, so you can see your action button will be all new, you'll see that the volume rockers, when we level them out, are pretty much in the same location as are the buttons. So the reach to the buttons on this one are not going to be any higher really or anything like that. So not a massive difference there. So you should be able to have the same ergonomics on that portion. Now you also see, if we zoom it in close here, the size of the buttons here on the power button is also about the same. And you could see you will be getting this titanium finish, so it won't get all these smudges and nasty oily residues on your stainless steel like from before. But the button also feels more greasy here, and this one feels more smooth and titanium. Now the capture button size is actually smaller than the 5G antenna as well. And then on the bottom of the phone, you'll see, if you take a closer look, there is pretty much no difference in width. You see that? They're basically leveled with each other. They have the same amount of microphone holes and the same amount of Torx screws. And you do go from a lightning port to a USB-C here. But size-wise, I think you're going to be pretty happy. In addition, not only are you going to have about the same width, so the comfort factor shouldn't be super off or anything like that, you also get a lighter phone. So this iPhone right here comes in at 199 grams. So it actually feels lighter than the iPhone 14 Pro. You could actually put a case on the iPhone 16 Pro and it'll weigh about as much as a 14 Pro. So definitely, if you like a lighter phone, you're going to like this. But I will recommend, if you don't care about 120 hertz and you want a super lightweight, the regular iPhone 16 is like a featherweight compared to the Pros. It is super, super light. And then if you even want lighter than that, you might want to wait it out for the up and coming iPhone SE. All right, guys. So when reading an article on Apple News, you'll see that right here, the reduction in the bezels doesn't really add a ton of extra content, but it looks like a little bit more is showing down there due to it being a 6.3, as you can see right there. iOS 18.1 beta 5 details on the left. But it just kind of generally feels closer to that of a 6.5-inch iPhone, I would say, just because of that stretch in the bezels. And you can see it's pretty apparent right there as well. The dynamic island looks pretty much the same size as well, but it seems like there's a little more space besides the dynamic island on the iPhone 16 Pro. But content-wise, I don't think this upgrade is substantial, but it's definitely a little bit noticeable, and I think you'll really benefit, especially when watching a YouTube video or viewing a photo. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at that now. All right, so when it comes to the size of the display when viewing content, you'll see right here, I'm just going to zoom in on any random photos here, and you'll see right there, definitely showcases a lot of screen. If we go like that, and we place them side by side right here, you'll see that you are going to be able to display just a little bit more content there on that 6.3 down here. Now, this is really small, but I like to look at the details. And I think if I'm holding my phone in my hand and I'm watching a movie or a video like that, I'm probably going to enjoy the 16 Pro more. So I definitely like that they did go to a 6.3 while also not making the size too much bigger. When it comes to the pocketability, I've actually used both of these phones definitely already. I've used the 16 Pro. I got my main SIM in the 16 Pro right now because I tried out the Max for a couple days and now I want to try out the 16 Pro. I actually think the 16 Pro is more enjoyable to use because it's lighter and it feels less greasy on the edges, and it also gives you a comfortable size that when you're not comparing it to something like a Max or anything like that, it just feels like a pretty large screen in your hand for day to day. It's just when you start comparing it to the Max, it doesn't look super Max size anymore. So if you had the question, if I go to the 6.3 from my 6.1 inch Pro, 14 Pro, or even probably 15 Pro, am I getting a massive difference in size? And the answer is no. But is it noticeable? The answer is yes. It's just not crazy noticeable, but it's definitely noticeable. And I think that the other elements like the lighter weight, the overall just kind of like build being upgraded from the older stainless steel would probably please you as well. And you can see the size of the cameras, this is the last thing we're going to compare size-wise, haven't really changed. Although the rings around the camera, if you look closely there, they do match the titanium on the newer model, and the older model, they have that chrome shiny look. Well, it's stainless steel. You get what I'm saying, though. It's got that shiny look. So you just got to decide which one you prefer, but personally, you're not seeing massive changes in camera. LiDAR sensors are also in the same location, as are the flashes as well. So my conclusion here is get the 16 Pro even over the Pro Max if you're looking for the most comfortable size iPhone that's a Pro model. This one is light, but still gives you a big screen, which is usable, but still comfortable. This is a great size here. But some people are still going to prefer something like a 6.1 or a 5.8. But that's gone away this time. So new size, but not super different. Let me know your thoughts on the iPhone 16 Pro down below in the comments section of this video. Do you prefer it over the Max? Do you have other size comparisons you'd like to see on the channel? Let us know down below in the comments. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you all in the very next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.